So what happened, guys? Candace Owens versus Andrew Wilson. And Andrew goes down. Everybody's talking about it. The internet's on fire. Everybody knows that Andrew lost really, really badly. Many on his own side are even admitting it, disappointing it. People are putting out videos about how their views changed on this topic because of the debate. Andrew said in the debate that he thinks all women are retarded. Yep, that's the kind of caliber of person we're dealing with here. And he got beat by a 6-month pregnant woman. Oh, sweet justice. So I'm going to break it down here, my thoughts on it, and where I thought he really went off and lost the whole thing. Okay? So it starts off, he's there to debate Candace. His position is that the evidence against Tyler Robinson, proving that he killed Charlie Kirk, is quote-unquote overwhelming, right? So that's his position. I'm going to present to you, Candace, the overwhelming evidence. And he wants Candace to defend her position and her theories about who she thinks potentially killed Charlie Kirk because she doesn't believe it was Tyler Robinson. Obviously, anybody who is looking at the case honestly would think that there are huge holes in this. And that would mean that somebody who looks really, really into it, not just surface level, okay, well, they had pictures of videos of him. No, if you start to really look into it, look at the videos, look at the pictures that they have, you're going to see, oh, no, it's not what I thought. And so that's what we see in this debate, that Andrew Wilson doesn't know anything about this case. And Candace, sure enough, does. So it starts off with Andrew presenting his position of the overwhelming evidence that Tyler kills Charlie Kirk. Well, he starts by redefining the word overwhelming. What a way to start to present your position. He says, what I mean by overwhelming is that it's very convincing. Oh, overwhelming means very convincing to the dumbass Andrew. So this is what they do. They redefine words and then they try to present that. And what I believe is happened here is Andrew was commissioned by Turning Point USA and Saint Erica Kirk, who shall not be criticized ever for eternity. She's a grieving widow forever. Even though you're allowed to make fun of everybody else, even after they die, just like Donald Trump does, who cares? But when the left does it, oh my God, right? So Andrew is commissioned by these evil psychopaths to show their position. And he's also commissioned by the higher people to keep your eyes as a right-winger on the left. Because now the left and the right are starting to unite against who's really behind the issues. Yeah, we're starting to wake up. The tide is turning and you can't turn it back. And Candace Owens is a huge part of that, right? So the left and left-right is uniting because the left-right divide is starting to break down. This is amazing. This actually could be some potential change. And the people in charge, they're afraid of that. The whole point of left and right is to keep y'all fighting so that we can continue to control you. But now our eyes are turning from each other, uniting together and looking towards the real people who are really in charge. So Andrew is a paid bot to try to keep our eyes on the left as he brings his text message, right? Oh, the big reveal in the very beginning. Oh, I have a text message here. In his, completely pompous, ridiculous, weak position that he is, and the person he presents himself as super strong and he can't even open a freaking pickle jar or olive jar or whatever the heck it was. So he's out there. Oh, I have a text message from Charlie Kirk. It says he was afraid that the left was going to kill him. But he won't show the text. Anybody can read anything off their phone and say, oh, this was... But he refused to show the text when Candace asked him. He said, no, I'll reveal it on my show. Like a little baby boy. So he does that. Meanwhile, he's calling Erica Kirk a liar to her face because she claimed that Charlie never sent any texts about anybody trying to kill him. But once the text came out that he was talking about our greatest ally trying to kill him, oh, now what do you know? Andrew Wilson, right? Little goy boy Andrew Wilson, good goy. He's got a new text. Ooh, wow. So he's calling Erica Kirk retarded. He gets in with them. They say, hey, go, you're our attack dog. Go against big bad Candace Owens because we can't attack her because we're horrible and weak and boring and stupid and, right? And we don't have the intelligence, but you do, right? Because he's supposedly the debate boss and he can really break people down and intimidate them and talk fast and make big words and but really not say anything, just like, right? So he's a debate. He's good at winning debates. Not on substance, not on actually proving any points, but he has techniques to break people down, to intimidate them, etc. So I think at first Candace was, taking the bait, and everything he said she would address, which that's the whole point of what he's doing. He's trying to get her off the point that she's making. But in the end, she finally caught wind to it. And if you want to watch anything, just watch the last 10 minutes of the debate and watch Candace Owens bitch slap this mother effer. Okay? She's like calling out every single technique he's using, right? She's telling her point while still defending his dumbass and exposing him at the same time. 3 things at the same time. This girl has a huge, high IQ, despite what DJT says, right? Andrew Wilson thought he was going to go up against Candace. He was demolished, and everybody knows it. So she called him out on all his false techniques, right? And she basically exposed to the world everything that he does and has been doing over all these years and why he's, the big bad debater, because he's just using these techniques that work on a human level, right? She says, you're not going to put a time limit on me so that I say what you want me to say or try to trip me up with your time limit, because it was at her studio. She made the rules and she said there is no time limit. So the more you talk at me, the more I'm going to talk. I'm going to take as long as I want. So right off the bat, Andrew's supposed to defend his position that the evidence is overwhelming for Tyler Robinson killing Charlie Kirk. He changes the word overwhelming to mean convincing. That is not the same thing. We all know that. We have common sense, right? But I believe that because he was commissioned by Turning Point and Erica to be their watchdog, their attack dog, he knew that he couldn't actually defend the position of the word overwhelming that he was paid to use, right? TPUSA has been paying people to use the particular word overwhelming about the evidence that is against Tyler. And all these influencers are using the same exact word, overwhelming. And Candace called that out. She said, yeah, I thought it was kind of weird that you were using the same exact word that everybody else is. And there's payment going on for these people to use this word. When it came down for him to defend his position on why he used that word, he changes the fucking word. Give me a break. So that's the deal. He's not confident in using that word. He doesn't really mean that word. That's why he had to change it the very first thing of the debate. So a lot of people were saying the debate was lost right away after the next point that I'm about to bring up, which I agree. But they don't realize it was actually lost before that. As soon as he changed the word. Oh, what I mean by overwhelming is actually just convincing. It's very convincing to me. So now, because he knew he could not, there was no possible way that he was going to be able to present evidence to back up his claim that it was the evidence amount was overwhelming. He literally changes the word, or the definition of the word, which is really changing the word, right? So right there, he lost the debate. Boom. Then he doubles down and loses the debate again by the second point. Now, quick point about that. She called him out on that. Hey, you're using the same exact language that everybody else is, just like probably these same people or people connected to them were paying influencers, a lot of Christian influencers, to talk crap about Candace Owens and use the words demonic and evil in particular. So how do you pick up on this? Well, they're all saying they're using the same language, right? Well, that's how the pay gets out. That's how you get paid. You got to use these particular words, which they have studied in their satanic temples and downloaded from the spirits or whatever the fuck they're doing, right? With their witchcraft and their blood drinking and all that. They're like, oh, this word will trigger Christians and they'll really get behind it. Oh, satanic. Oh, especially the charismatic Christians who love Donald Trump and worship him. Yeah, just say it's demonic, just like the left is demonic, but Israel can do no wrong. Bless Israel. Yep, here we are. They're good at what they do, but people are waking the F up. So Candace calls him out on that, and he says, he tries to turn it on her. Oh, you mean like the word fed flop? As if like she's being paid because she uses the word fed slop. No, douchebag. Everybody in the world uses the word fed slop. It's a word we who are actual real people, who are honest and are thinking and see with our eyes that what's going on with the Tyler case and the Charlie case, there's something not right about it, right? We're all calling it fed slop. Yeah, because it's obvious. That's what it is, right? But he turns that around. Oh, like you're using the same word, fed slop. Everybody, dude, that word wasn't invented by some group that's paying people to use it, right? It's just a word that everybody uses. So the second point that he really lost on, where the debate was really lost in Candace's favor, right? PBD should have just put up her hand like a prize fight right there. And in this corner, right, the 6-month pregnant Candace Owens. She's already won. Ding, ding, ding. Right? I don't know if you guys saw that meme with like Andrew running up to see his wife, and she like immediately puts like 10 cigarettes in his mouth and lights them. Maybe that's why he lost. You know, he didn't have his I don't know. I can't talk. His nicotine fix. Right? In the beginning, he was doing good, and then towards the end, watch that last 10 minutes. Boom, he's done. It's like KO. It's like he's already down, and he's trying to get up, and it's like, nope, you're just digging your hole deeper. And then at the very end, he asked to see Candace Owens' phone. Oh, did somebody just text you the answers? And Candace just goes, here's my phone. Hands over her phone to PBD and says, look through it. I give you full permission. He asked like 3 times. He's like, are you sure? She's like, look at it. I have not been receiving any texts this entire time. And that's where she really won, which I'm going to get to that point in a second. Maybe I'll just jump to that. Actually, no, I'll jump to the front first. So the second point where he lost, where her hand should have been raised up in the air by the ref, was when Andrew said, well, actually PBD asks him, what percentage of you believes that Tyler Robinson didn't kill, or rather did kill, Charlie Kirk? And he says 75 to 85%. The debate is over, right? That means he has 15 to 25% doubt that maybe Tyler Robinson wasn't the one to kill Charlie Kirk. He's on Candace's side. In the court of law in America, you are innocent until proven guilty. That means if you had that percentage in the jury, that man would walk. Tyler Robinson would walk out the courtroom. He would be declared innocent according to Andrew's own standards, right? So first he changes the definition of the word. Then he says, well, 25, 15%, I think maybe he didn't do it. Boom, he's innocent. The thing was already won. That's what everybody's saying, right? So then Andrew uses his little witchcraft techniques that he learned, whatever, his little mind control attempts. And if I wish Candace would have gone even harder on him. I think she was going light on him. And I realized, he paid to have that debate with her. That's what he wanted to do. Now she wants to talk about this topic because she cares about Charlie Kirk. She was really good friends with him, right? Do I think Andrew Wilson cares about Charlie Kirk? No. Do I think Erica Kirk cares about Charlie Kirk? No, of course not. It couldn't be more obvious. She's laughing on camera about it afterwards. She's selling merch. She's dressing like a whatever and putting all kind of fireworks, kissing JD Vance. This witch that she is, this demonic, satanic witch. And when I see the Christian right and all the, Lord Christians who might get kicked away, right, who are looking for Donald Trump to save them, when they're all like, you cannot say anything bad about Mama Erica. Oh, I know exactly what's going on. And it hit me too. There's a spot in this debate where they're talking, Andrew Wilson is reading the chart of how Charlie Kirk allegedly died, how the bullet went through, what it hit inside his body, what it tore. Andrew is reading that and he starts to chuckle and laugh. Okay? It hit me kind of, but then as I watched it back a few times, it really started to hit. This guy's laughing while he's reading. And at that moment, I could feel Candace Owens' pain. And she's looking serious, and she really cares about this case. As she puts to him at the end, and he proves that he doesn't know anything about the case because he doesn't care. He actually chuckled when he was reading about how Charlie Kirk died. Disgusting. That's who these people are. They're socio-psychopaths, evil, wicked, demonic. If you want to say about demonic, it's not Candace, it's them. They are the demonic ones, straight up. If you look at videos of Candace Owens talking about this, and you look at videos of Erica Kirk side by side talking about this, one of them is demonic and one of them is not. I'm not saying Candace is perfect or anything like that, but if you're going to have to choose somebody as being demonic, one is and one isn't, like 100%. And based on who you think is, that would tell me about your discernment. Right? Not saying you got to agree with Candace on everything or see all the witchcraft evil eyes that Erica has, and every time she says the blood of Christ, she glitches out like a robot. You know, maybe you haven't seen all the videos. But if you see like substantial amount of videos and you could just see like who's honest, who's not, who's lying, who's, you know, after something else, it's very clear. So he's laughing about that. That's disgusting. Candace Owens is 6 months pregnant. You know what I mean? She shouldn't even really be doing that debate. I don't know. Maybe she should. It's up to her. But it's like, what? Like, she's allowing this to happen. And she's still being honest about it and still won. So then at the end, the last 10 minutes, this was the absolute best. This is where she really clinched it and just KO'd his ass, right? She says, name the charges that Tyler Robinson is brought up on, right? If you know so much about this case. And she catches him because he starts to talk about the charges. And she's like, yeah, you know, name some. And he's like, yeah, bring it. No, first she asked him, do you know the charges? Right? So this was brilliant. I don't know how she even like picked up on this in the moment like that so quick. Right? But she kind of catches it right away. Wait, do you even know the charges? And he goes, oh yeah, of course I know the charges, but like bring them up just so I can see them so that I can, you know, address them. So then she really catches, oh, he doesn't even know the charges. She goes, you know, I believe you don't even care about this case. Do you know the charges? He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, yeah, but I just want to see them just in case. I want to make sure I cover everything. She goes, okay, so name the charges. He goes, oh, okay, then you name all 7 charges. Right? She goes, okay, no problem. She goes, you name 1. And he thinks he has her, so he's like, oh, yeah, well, you name all 7. Right? And I was watching Owen Benjamin's analysis on this. He brought up a really great point, and I think it applies to salvation as well, so I want to apply it there. He called that out, and he said what he's doing there is setting up a standard of perfection for you, but a standard of absolute grace for me, right? I don't even have to get 1, but you have to get 7. All 7 perfectly. That's what he said, right? And that's what the church does. That's what the Lordship Salvation Church does. Yo, are you watching horror movies? Are you doing this? Are you listening to this music? You got to be absolutely perfect and surrender all your life to Christ in order to be saved. But me? Oh, I get angry in traffic. I drink. I do all kinds of things that you don't know about that I'm not going to tell you about. Right? Grace for me, but not for thee. Absolute perfection standard for you. And absolute grace for me. Thank God for Jesus Christ that it's actually the opposite. It's absolute grace for us. Anyone who believes the gospel message that Jesus died for their sins and rose from the dead. Complete and utter grace. 0 to do with you. You don't have to do anything except believe. After that, if you want to do something for Christ, he's going to love it. He's going to be so happy. He's going to say, well done, good and faithful servant. So do it. So Andrew can't name 1 charge, not 1. He says 1. He says, I think he's up for murder. Notice how he says, I think. He's not even confident in his own, the one that he has memorized. He goes, I think he was brought up on murder. She goes, wrong. He was brought up on aggravated murder. And he goes, oh, same thing. And he even cuts her off. He goes, okay, now name 7, right? 0, I am unable to reflect because I'm a troll under the bridge, right? With my cigarettes, right? Smoking cigarettes on camera as a Christian, as if that's a cool thing to do. What a great thing to promote, Andrew. What a great Christian guy. Wow, you're so great, right? I never understood what he did. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. It's like he's trying to bring back like 1940s and 1950s, like, shut up, woman, get in the kitchen. Make me a sandwich and a beer, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna just let my toenails grow out, and like, I'm gonna grow a pot belly, and yeah. I mean, he's like fantasizing about something that he doesn't even know shit about. You know what I mean? That probably doesn't even exist, but it's like in his imagination, just like his other buddy who he called after his shellacking, right? And he calls up his little cross-dressing right-winger, red-pilled buddy, Steven Crowder, right? Another guy who's just like, you see the video of him smoking a cigar, yelling at his wife. Yeah, go shopping. Go shopping for me. Ah. And what does she do? She divorces dumbass. Good. Thank God, man. Thank God. Thank God people have their own minds. They don't follow these cretins off the cliff. You know what I mean? John MacArthur's of the world. Oh, well, you better stay with your husband even if he's this and that. It doesn't matter. There should be laws that you need to submit, right? Just like that supposed pastor Doug Wilson, who says there should be laws that force women to submit to their husband at all time, including for sex whenever the heck they want, right? And there should be laws against sodomy. And what is sodomy? That means sex between men, but it doesn't mean oral, or even anal for a married, consensual, heterosexual couple. That's okay, but not the gay guys. No, we should crucify. We should probably kill them. Like, you mean like the Muslims do? No, not like the Muslims do, but like we do, right? Because when Muslims do it, we want to bomb their countries, right? But when we do it, it's cool, right? Okay. So yeah, Andrew can't get one. He says murder when it was aggravated murder. He says it's the same thing. Now number 7. And she takes her time and says, no, Andrew, it's not the same thing. Let me educate you, right? Aggravated murder, there were children around who could have been harmed. So it's actually bumped up. Why is this so different? One carries the death penalty and the other doesn't. Meanwhile, Andrew's over here wanting to get Tyler Robinson in front of a firing squad before he probably wouldn't even want a trial. And yet he himself is 25 to 15% unsure that he even did it. Does he even believe in the Constitution and the concept of innocent until proven guilty? Probably not. He's just doing the job and the bidding of his bosses, right? So he can't name one. And then what does Candace do? This was the clincher. She names all 7 in order perfectly. And he's trying to look for well, is that the official? Is there anything else? It's like he can't even believe it, right? And everybody's like, why would you set yourself up for that? Obviously she knew. Why did you ask her that? That's like such a amateur move in debate. You don't ask somebody else a question if they might know the answer and end up making them look good, right? He thought he was going to get her on that. First of all, it's such a stupid ask to require somebody else to say all 7, and she says just name one, and his response is name all 7. How does he even fly by with that? And then she passed the test. In my belief, this was God-given. This was arranged by God, okay? I believe God allowed this conversation to happen to have people wake up. And like it says in Revelation, let those who be filthy still, and those who were deceived still be deceived still. I put that in there, right? Man, I don't know. Like if at this point, it's whatever. It's whatever, More people are going to wake up from this, and that's what's happening. It's absolutely amazing. It was lovely. It was great. Right. And then as Andrew's losing that battle, like, oh my God, she just named all 7 perfectly in order, exactly as they are on the chart. I have nothing. And he's like trying to nitpick. Well, is that the exact wording? Right. Just like he asked her, do you know the name of the officer who was on the roof? Oh, yeah. You mean the one who turned off his body cam, it seems, or there's 0 body cam right when the spot where we needed it. It just so happened to turn off. And then some screwdriver was left and some other gun was left on some other perch, like even further. Yeah, and then some live rounds. Yeah, interesting. So and I wish Candace got into more of that because there's a lot more that she didn't even get to. But again, I think she was just giving Andrew what he needed, right? At the end, she was like, you know what? I'll allow it. And you know what, Andrew? Because he was, at the end, she's like, can I ask you a question? He's like, no, you can't ask me a question. No, just looking away. No, you can't. She's like, you can just interrogate me with, innumerable questions and I can't even ask you one question. Oh, yeah. She goes, okay, well, I'll allow that. And I just want it to be shown that Andrew got his little way, right? So he won't throw a fit, even though he's about to throw a fit because he's like, I'm not looking at you, right? So she's like, yeah, I'll give you everything you want and I'll still demolish you, which she did. And so that he has nothing to cry and whine about, even though he did to Steven Crowder afterwards. Steven Crowder, another one I cannot stand. Anyway, let me not say. So after all that, after Candace names all 7 perfectly, by the way, they read it after that, and she perfectly nailed everything, the wording, the numbers, everything. Boom. Then he says, by the way, did somebody text you that? Let me see your phone. Actually, he doesn't even say, let me see your phone. He says, I'm just asking. Right? His whole, I'm just asking questions. Right? And then they criticize Candace for saying that. I'm just asking questions. That's exactly what she's doing with this. Her looking into this whole Charlie Kirk thing, right? She's doing what all of us would like to do, don't have the time to do or the energy, right? She's saying what all of us are thinking. That's why she is so popular, because it's common sense and people are waking up and they're seeing it and they're like, oh, wow. Yeah, what she's saying makes sense. What Andrew is saying, no, it's not hitting. So he can't even get one. She gets all 7. He accuses her of getting a text. Even though he won't show his phone, she hands over the phone, right? She asks him, will you show the text that you got that showed your point? No, I won't show it. Okay, here's my phone. Everything's there. Who's honest? Who's not? Who's on the side of God? Who's not? I'm not saying it's like that all the time, but in this case, wow, it couldn't be really clearer. You know what I'm saying? Because God is all about truth, I believe. God is all about that blood of Christ. And I'm not talking about their theology or anything like that. Whatever. We got an Orthodox and a Catholic. I disagree with both of those denominations. It's fine. But is Candace Owens saved? I believe so. If I had to guess, I would say yeah. She seems to understand the gospel in some degree. Now, I don't know. I don't know her theology. Maybe I shouldn't even said that. I don't know who's saved. And I don't know if Andrew is. Maybe he is too. And we'll all laugh about this in heaven, and I hope so. But it was amazing, guys. People are really waking up. The tide is turning. They're going to have to do something from here because too many people are waking up, and I believe that is the tribulation that's coming. So we'll see about that. And I love you guys so much. Keep coming back. Let me know your thoughts in the comment. It was wild. Was it not? Was it not crazy? And at first I was like, oh man, Candace is like kind of falling for his bait. I'm like, she could have went harder, and she's holding back. Like, even her team, they weren't bringing up videos quick enough. Andrew's team was like, we got the videos ready. We already prepared them, right? And Candace calls him out on that. He was supposed to present his evidence to her, just like you're supposed to do in a court of law, which, by the way, the prosecutors are not doing with the defense. They're not showing the text messages of Tyler Robinson supposedly confessing. They're not showing that to the defense. So Andrew's doing the same thing. He's not showing his evidence. He's not showing the videos that he was supposed to bring. He didn't mention the text message that he got until he got there, right? But everything with Candace is on the up and up. They're playing clips from her podcast, like, oh, we gotcha. She's like, yeah. She addressed every single clip. Yeah, she's like, yeah, it's all on my podcast. Like, I've never taken anything down. If I have made a mistake, I've come out and apologized for things, because it's okay to make mistakes, Andrew. She says, why don't you just admit you're wrong, right? She caught him in all kinds of lies, false tweets, and he's like stammering. Well, that one, and it's like, he's smart, he's intelligent, yeah, and he's good at like making excuses and using language to make himself and his side look good and smart, and right, like, we kind of know, and like that's that whole like pompous, like, and he does his little Freemasonic hand, when you put the hands together, like kind of like this. He's doing that, which is a Freemasonic deal, and it like whatever. It's like part of their whole witchcraft thing. So yeah, that was a shellacking. That was really fun to watch, and I'm loving people's commentary on it. I saw Sneeko and Owen Benjamin talk about it. That was a brilliant take, about 15 minutes long. I agree with pretty much every single thing both of them said. Super good. And this is where you see the uniting, and they don't like it. So let me know what you guys think. Keep coming back, and remember, Jesus loves you. Peace.